Welcome to another episode of Healing Through Love. Each week, we share ideas, experiences, and resources to increase the awareness of domestic and family violence and to empower survivors to grow and thrive. We talk with experts who share their advice, or with people who have experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their journey. This is all about healing through love. And now, here are your hosts, Charlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.
In episode 71, Meg and Mary explores the transformative self-discovery and healing that understanding dreams can provide.
Welcome to the Healing Through Love podcast. I'm your host, Charlene Lynch from charlenelynch.com. Healing Through Love is here to help victims and survivors of domestic and family violence find their way back to living a more fulfilling and meaningful life. We interview experts and survivors who share their personal stories and offer advice to those who've experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their healing journey. As well as the Healing Through Love podcast, we hold annual Pamper Days here in Adelaide, South Australia for survivors of domestic and family violence. Local businesses come together and pay it forward by providing their services and resources for the survivors for a much needed day of indulgence. Think day spa on steroids. And we are so excited that now Healing Through Love has gone global. We are teaching communities all around the world how to run these Pamper Days and unite the community to make a difference. If this sounds like you, no matter where you are on this planet, reach out to Healing Through Love. We would love to include you into the training program so that you can bring this beautiful program to families near you. I love it. So if you feel aligned with what Healing Through Love is up to, please reach out. We'd love to have a conversation. And every week we have amazing guests. And this week is no difference. We've got Megan Mary, is a dream worker who specializes in the analysis of women's dreams to promote transformative personal growth and enlightenment. She's the founder of Women's Dreamers Analysis and the Women's Dream Enlightenment podcast. She is an intuitive, she's introvert, she's a mystic, she's a writer. And after being diagnosed with 3 chronic illnesses, she experienced a spiritual awakening. She now works with women all around the world, offering them interpretation, transformation, journeys and enlightenment and guidance. She lives in Idaho with her rock star drummer husband and 2 cats. Hello and welcome to Healing Through Love podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, Megan.
Hi, Charlene. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, it's lovely to connect. I would love to start our conversation today with you sharing with the audience why dreams? How did you get here? How did you get to dreams?
Yes. So growing up, I was always fascinated by dreams. I had recurring wonderful flying dreams and also recurring nightmares. And I always wanted to know what they meant. And I used to go look in the dream dictionaries, and they didn't really make sense. And I was always attracted to everything that was mysterious, ethereal, esoteric, metaphysical. And I really kind of, for a while, stopped listening to my dreams. I did keep a journal in my 20s, but I stopped doing it, stopped paying attention. And it wasn't until I really became very ill and diagnosed with all these chronic illnesses at once that I had to reevaluate what I was doing, really needed some guidance, really needed to start looking inside. And so I started listening to my dreams again, and I discovered that they really had a lot of guidance for me. And when that became a pivotal part of my healing journey, it then also became my passion and my calling to share that with other women to help them on their healing journey.
It's beautiful. And it's true, isn't it? Because we do have the answers inside of us and we just need to get to them. And there's so much in the way, but it's still right there every single night we go to sleep that we're having that connection to our subconscious mind. So the answers are really there. The answers really are inside of you. I love it. That's so beautiful. So you keep a journal and you encourage your clients to keep journals too?
Yes, absolutely. And of course, journaling just in itself, even if it's not a dream journal, can be extremely healing. Writing, putting out all your thoughts onto paper is so healing. But a dream journal can add that extra layer, because then you're not only incorporating your conscious, but you're incorporating your subconscious. You're really starting to integrate the two in a reflexive way that can give you a much broader perspective.
Yes, so I love dreams. I love everything dreams, and I do a little process, what I call sitting in it. Apparently, according to my mum, I've been doing this all of my life. So mum would always try and wake me up to go to school, and I'd go 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. And part of it was that I love to sleep in, but it's also that I would hold myself in that dream state as the observer, and not do any lucid dreaming or anything moving around, just observe it. And what I didn't understand what I was doing was giving myself that opportunity to have that connection to the conscious and subconscious mind, so that I could really dive in deep. So I love it. My husband now knows when I'm sitting in it. But I just find that it's a great way for me to start. So I'm bringing all the work that I've done in the nighttime into the day by just sitting in that process, observing, not changing. Because I remember when I was really not well, I'd love to change things and move things about, which is more on the lucid space than anything else. Not supportive of a journey, because I wasn't really listening to what was happening for me inside. But I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love dream journals. I think they're fantastic. So do you have a dream journal? Is this something that you encourage, or do you have your own?
Yes, I have many. So it's whatever I'm writing it at the time. I have so many notebooks, but I also like to keep notes, keep note of them in my phone, actually, on this digital. It's a digital journaling app. And I really like that, because then I can search on keywords, I can tag things, and I can start to see the threads and the patterns and the commonalities over time in the different dreams. And I can also really quickly look back at a dream. Oh, I want to look up that one dream. It was about X. I look it up. I can look it up right away. I don't have to go rummaging through tons of notebooks. So
I love that. I love that. I love it. That's so beautiful. And I remember on many occasions, as I was going through my getting well journey, many of my therapists would use dream therapy as part of the helping me understand that I really did have the answers. I just wasn't seeing them. And they would get me to write down my dreams, and then that would be one of the conversations I'd have at my therapist. So yeah, I love it. I'm curious to see what is it that you bring to the concept of dream and dream therapy that is unique, that is different from what's out there.
Mm-hmm. So, unlike the traditional Jungian or Freudian or psychotherapy approaches to dream analysis, I like to take a more storytelling, mystical aspect. So, my background is in literature. I have a bachelor's and a master's in English literature. So, I have a love of story. I'm very much intrigued by analyzing the metaphor of a story. But I'm also at my heart a very mystical person, and I really believe in a lot of esoteric beliefs. I mix the quantum physics with the spiritual realm, with other dimensions, with time travel, with all kinds of things. And I really believe that dreams are a doorway to other dimensions. And I really believe there's a lot more possible than just what maybe a sleep lab might be telling us, or what a scientific experiment of what's happening with our brain might tell us. So I add on that spiritual element. And also, just my love of story helps me really draw out that deeper meaning when I look at the dream as a story.
Okay, so how was the whole dream concept part of your wellness journey? How are they intrinsically connected?
Mm-hmm. So when I started doing a lot of inner work, so at the depths of my illness, I started meditating daily. And I'd meditated before, but not on a daily basis. And when I started doing that, it really started opening up the other world for me that I had forgotten. I won't say I didn't know about it, but it was more of a spiritual remembering, a going back. And when I did that, our dream state is in the theta brainwave, which is the same as the meditative state. So there are a lot of similarities when you start opening up yourself up to that quiet space in the mind. And when I started doing that and started journaling, I started realizing that my dreams had a lot of guidance in there. I was getting a lot of messages, a lot of interactions, a lot of really prophetic things. And I thought, wow, this is so powerful. Something's happening. I'm really changing here. And then I'm really awakening to this, to something. And the more I started paying attention, the more I started seeing synchronicities and signs and coincidences and spirit guidance. And then I started following that path. And then a whole new world opened up for me when I really stepped into alignment with that purpose.
I'm curious to see how much has sleep hygiene got to do with the quality of the dream and also remembering it the next day?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that even if you are a little bit of an insomniac, because I certainly have suffered from that, that you still can remember them and you still can receive those messages. In fact, if you wake up a lot during the night, you might remember a lot because every time you wake up, you're re-entering that state. And so some people sleep super heavy through the entire night. I'm not one of those people. So, I think obviously you don't want to compromise your sleep. You need that restorative time, but there's also time that you should be making throughout your day to do reflection or meditation or journaling. And I think that at least once a week, if you can, observe one dream that you've had and maybe take some time with it, I believe that's the ultimate in self-care because you're really taking the time to listen to your higher self.
So many of our audience are on a healing journey. So your concept is that they can reach into their dreams and do a little dream analysis or a lot, depending on what's happening for them, and that can help them heal. So what are we doing? Are we looking at the answers that we're receiving overnight time as to what we need to be doing to move forward, to move in that direction? Is that what we're saying?
It can be a combination of things. So dreams can reveal things you need to work on. They can also reveal things that you didn't realize that you're not taking advantage of, gifts that you have, directions that you could be taking. They also can be a great source of inspiration for creativity. So our subconscious really works on a lot of our challenges and questions, and we can use that reflexively to improve our life. It allows us to have a lot of self-discovery, and that can be a great healing modality. But there's also a lot of other applications as well in terms of creativity and just gaining confidence.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Now, I understand that you have the women's dream of collective online community. Is that what it's called?
Women's Dream Collective, yes.
Women's Dream Collective. Okay, yes, excellent. And so what does that look like?
Yes. So it's a place online, a community where women can come and seek, share, and support. So it's like-minded women who are on their journey, whether it be a spiritual journey, a healing journey, a transformational, introspective, self-discovery journey, and they're all seeking that support, that knowledge, that wisdom. They can come into the collective where they can attend live dream circles, where there's other women sharing their dreams, and networking circles, and also attend live events and learn from all the other women that are coming in. And they're all women who I've had wonderful experiences with that have made a huge difference for me in my journey. And I really my dream is to have them all together and then to have everyone come in and experience them all as I have.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. And now this is a paid community.
Yes, it's $33 a month.
Excellent. That is very affordable. Now, yes. I also understand that you offer self-paced courses as well. Can you explain a little bit more about those?
Yes. So I have two different online courses, and they're really short courses. You can do them probably all in a matter of a day, but they're meant to be done in just 10 minutes a day over the course of a week. And they give you an insight into my dream mirror method, which is the method that I use for dream interpretation. It takes you through what dream analysis is, what are the benefits of doing that, then what are the 4 steps of my method. It gives you exercises so that you can try it out for yourself. And there's also a classroom circle in the collective that you gain access to, as well as the rest of the collective, for a limited time while you're doing the course, so that you can share your experience with other people taking the course and really be able to get feedback from the rest of the collective on your journey.
Oh, I love it. So this is like a glimpse into the method. Yes. So yeah, I love it. That's fantastic. So this online course would be for who? Anyone who's looking for an introduction into the process?
Yeah, so I have 2 different ones. One is for all women that are at any stage in their journey and are curious about dreams. The other one is for people who are, I call it spiritual providers, but it's basically anyone who's working in a healing modality, whether it's a counselor, a hypnotherapist, a Reiki, it could be anything. You could be an energy worker, someone who is doing the work to help other women. And very well, they have probably gone on their own journey that brought them there to discover their gifts. And so that is just some of the same content, but it's just tweaked a little bit to help them understand how they can deliver that as part of their modality. Because ultimately, that's what I would like to do, is empower all women as well as all women healers to help others learn the benefits.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So one of the things that comes up, look, every day when I talk to people about dreams is, I don't remember them. Like, it just seems to be such a common response to talking to people about diving into and, sitting in their dream space so that they can see what their subconscious is connecting to their conscious mind. So what's one tip that you can help us with our audience today? What's a tip for them to be able to remember their dreams?
Yes. So because that is one of the most common questions, that is what day 1 is about in the course. And it's basically tips for dream recall. And one of the ones I usually recommend the most is, you hit on it when you said you're sitting in it method. It's basically when you're waking up and you're in that, I call it the middle world, the world in between sleeping and waking, where you're transitioning from that theta brain wave to the beta waking state, but you're still kind of in the middle. Take that moment, the first few minutes when you first wake up, and keep your eyes closed and don't think about your day, and don't pick up your phone, don't turn the light on, and just sit and think backwards. And when I say think backwards, it's like when you walk into a room and you say, what did I come in here for? What was I just doing? And then you have to stop and you have to think backwards. What were you just thinking? Got to retrace your steps mentally. It's very much like that. And when you start to do that, it takes a little bit of practice and it takes some effort, some concentration. But when you start to do that, you get a little hit. You remember one little thing, and then you focus on that thing, and then the rest starts to just appear.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And for me, one of the greatest things was definitely teaching myself to wake up before the alarm goes off. And that's by going to sleep with the intention that I wake up at maybe 5:25, and if the alarm's set for 5:30, and then I don't know how, but it does work, and then I do wake up, so it gives me just that 5 minutes. And really, for me, I don't know about you, but that's really all I need, is just those few moments to be able to put it together, get the key thread, get the key understanding, not change it or move it or anything, and just to be able to sit in it basically and get it. And I want to ask you about lucid dreaming, because as a child, I know, look, there were some challenges in my life, and I attempted suicide at 13, so like I had lots of challenges. And one of the things that I used to use as a child to navigate the challenges that were in my life was lucid dreaming. Now, I used it for a lot of my life as entertainment, as escapism, and all of those things. But later on, as I evolved, I realized that the lucid dreaming, although it's fun, it wasn't really helping me. It was more like watching television. It was more like entertainment. It wasn't allowing me the opportunity to have that conscious, subconscious connection for, into that next realm, so that I could hold the space and have the learnings. And it was also not assisting me with having the download, so that my brain was filing the information that I needed. In fact, if I'd had a night of lucid dreaming, I would wake up more tired than I was when I went to sleep. So I'd love to get your take on lucid dreaming.
Well, on the contrary, I actually think that there are a lot of applications for it for healing. So, particularly in the realm of nightmares. So, when you're in a nightmare, especially a recurring nightmare, but even just a regular nightmare, and if you are able to attain a state of lucidity, you can then change the course of that dream, which can be very transformational. If you're being chased by someone, you can turn around and face that person, and they will either disappear or become something completely different, or the entire mood of the dream will change because you're taking a different action. And so that is one of the really powerful applications of lucid dreaming that I highly recommend as a healing modality.
That's absolutely fascinating. And here I'm just using it for entertainment. There was certainly no scary movies in there. It was just basically entertainment. So like knowing that you can fly, so deliberately putting yourself into situations so that you can fly, and all the fun things that we do when we're lucid dreaming. I love it. So yeah, wow. So this is fascinating. And, everybody does it. Everybody dreams on one level or another. And so it's beautiful that we can connect. I love the topic of connected dreaming. So can we talk a little bit about more than one person having the same dream? Is that something that we can talk about?
Definitely. I think that that is one of the more mystical aspects that I believe is possible. And people often ask me about a lot of different things like visitations in dreams, or astral travel, or traveling to other places, or premonition dreams. All those types of things for me fall under that mystical umbrella, because it's opening up the possibility that maybe when we do go to the dream world, we aren't just sleeping in our bed. Maybe there is another world that we're able to access by going into this different brainwave state. And maybe spiritually, that brings us closer to the spiritual realm, because I feel that we are all spirits having a human experience. And so that would explain then a lot of that phenomena, any kind of psi phenomena with dreaming. And it also explains how people can meet in dreams, have the same dreams, because we are all having a spiritual experience.
Yeah. So I know as I was developing my psychic abilities that speaking to dead people, let's just call it that, that's where it started. That when I was in that theta brainwave, when I was in that open pattern, when I was in the stillness so that I could have my frequency high enough to connect, like that's where it started. And so, yeah, but then bringing it from the dream state into reality, that was a completely different shift that required a whole bunch more training. So yeah, so I hear lots of people tell me that when they dream, they spoke to someone that they love, and so whether it's true or it's not true, isn't it nice to believe that it is possible? Like we've all lost someone. It's nice to believe that it is possible to connect to them in your dreams. Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
I love it. So, wow. So you've got the collective, the online collective where people can communicate. You're also running the podcast as well.
Yes.
And you have this beautiful self-paced course that people can connect to. And so they can start to unpack their dreams and learn the tools and techniques to do so. I love it. So what's next for you?
Well, I also do dream sessions, and I have dream journeys as well. And what I really am going to plan to do in the future is create actually like an academy of sorts, if you will, where women can come in and become licensed to become dream mirror guides. That's my ultimate goal, because I really want to be able to spread this as far and as wide as possible. And that's going to require a lot of other women. So that's really my ultimate goal, is to just help as many women as I can, teach as many women as I can so they can help others, and just have it be a ripple effect across the world.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, wow. So you're working with people globally, and really you're raising their awareness and leaning into this opportunity to understand our dreams. And so, do you have your own dream journal, or do you suggest people use an app?
I have both. So I have a book that I keep by the bed, and I also have my phone where I have the app, and I'll mix and match. So it's sometimes I don't want to turn on my phone and I don't want to get up, so I'll write it in the journal. And I actually have gotten pretty good at writing in the dark without looking, because that's the best way to not disturb your melatonin production. So it takes some practice, but yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, not to turn the light on. That's the trick. And I also found, like, not looking at my phone, like when I was not well, I just needed that dopamine hit, and I just was reaching for the phone as the first thing. I mean, before that, I was reaching for a cigarette, but that's okay. That's another story. So just training myself, even of a morning now, not connecting to my phone at all, and just holding space, going through my processes in the morning while there's
Mm-hmm.
that beautiful stillness, and not
Mm-hmm.
looking at my phone. So
Yeah.
but I would have to learn a new skill set if I was going to get on and use an app and not look at the rest of the things on my. So I do love it. I do love it. So for me, remembering my dreams, and once I've sat in it and gone through the unpack, is that now all I do is I just hold a sentence or a word that holds the thread. And
Yep.
then for me, then I just write that down. And then if it requires more unpacking, then I'll do that as well in my morning meditations and the things that I do. So in the meantime,
Yes.
before I start turning up for the rest of the world and doing amazing things, because we need to refill ourselves. We need to refill ourselves. One thing that I have noticed is the number of dreams. So there's more than one, there's several dreams. And so is there any science or any maths or any research or evidence in and around how many dreams we dream during the night?
We have around 3 to 5, roughly. And the longer ones are towards the end of the night. And those are also the more vivid ones. So the way the sleep cycle works, the ones that are towards the beginning of the night can be more about, I don't want to say mundane things, but they're a little bit more not as complex, not as deep, not as vivid. And then the ones that are later in the night, as we get to the early morning hours, are the ones that are longer and more vivid and more complex.
And weird. Come on, let's face it. Let's just say it. Let's say it out there.
Yes.
Are weird. They're very weird.
Yes.
So they get the weird, the more the night rolls on, the weirder the dreams get. I love it. So something that I hear a lot of people say in this very busy, unique world that we live in now, because the world is different, is people not getting the quality of sleep and feeling like they're not dreaming. Like, it's not that they're not, they can't remember them. That's a different thing. Is that they don't feel that they're getting to that REM state. They feel that they're still process, and they'll be still there at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it felt like they haven't actually slept at all. They're still processing. So I hear this every day from different people. What tips and techniques do you have to help people get into dream state?
Well, the dreaming, it's still processing, right? So yes, I think that, of course, there's a lot of things that have to do with sleep science, of course, in terms of melatonin and all of those types of aspects. And also our estrogen levels greatly affect our sleep cycle, as does the moon cycle. And so sometimes if we can pay attention to that, pay attention to where we are in our cycle, pay attention to where the moon is in its cycle, if we're not having our own, that can really give us a little bit of clue as to where we are, what kind of inner work we should be doing, why maybe we're not dreaming or why we're having intense dreams, because it does fluctuate with the cycle of the moon.
Wow,
All
that's
connected.
fascinating. Yeah, so if you've had a couple of rough nights and you haven't, you don't think that you've had any dreams, you probably still have, you just haven't quite got there yet, then just know that it's part of a cycle, and that a good night's sleep is just around the corner. I love it. Now, just in closing today, I'd love you to share with our audience, what's your words of wisdom? What would you like the audience to know?
Yes, I believe that dreams are the doorway. They're the doorway to reflection, enlightenment, and awakening. And I really encourage everyone to just practice some dream appreciation. Don't discard them. Understand that it is from you, it's part of you, and that it holds a lot of inner guidance for you. And I really feel that dreams can be magical in that way for us because it really is a mysterious aspect of ourselves that holds so much potential for our own transformation.
I love it. I love it. Wow, what a wonderful half an hour. It's been fabulous, Megan. We could chat forever. If you're listening today and you need some assistance with your dreams and dreams therapy, have a consideration about the Women's Collective and also the course as well, which is very attainable for everybody. If you're listening today and you've got a skill set and you know that you can make a difference, we would love to have you connect to our Adelaide-based Healing Through Love Pamper Day coming up soon. And if you're global, reach out because we're looking to have Pamper Days in your local area. If there's not one already organised, maybe that's one you'd like to have a conversation with us. And together we can raise the frequency of this planet and help people heal and heal through love. Thank you for joining us today on Healing Through Love. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Healing Through Love. You can get further resources, see the show notes, or simply reach out to us via our website at htlaustralia.org. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to your company next time on the Healing Through Love podcast.